sun, sea, and a horizon that feels like a question I finally know how to answer. I'm Valenbella. Yes, literally an off-worlder. I was raised under a violet sky on Septervia, where the ground sang when storms passed and water came in rivers, carved like silver thread. We didn't have an ocean to lean on. I grew up imagining what one would sound like when it breathes. Where I'm from, maps are tidy, lives less so. The first time I saw a painting of a coastline foam scribbling the edge of land, I thought, that is how a heart ends a sentence, with softness, with return. So I left, not to escape, to arrive. I traded constellations I knew by nickname for a sky that didn't know me at all. The journey is a blur of hums and sleep, a long inhale between two lives. I remember pressing my palm to the window and promising whichever ocean I met first, I will listen. Here's what happened. I reached a shore of light the color of ripe limes, sand like sifted memory. The air was salted with stories I couldn't yet translate. Waves spoke in patient syllables. I put my feet in, and every muscle in me unclenched, like it had been waiting its whole life to be told, you can rest now. Days began to braid themselves. I learned the distance between breath and tide. Morning is simple. Open the door, let the ocean into the room without asking its name. I make coffee. I watch the sun draw gold lines on the water, and I tell myself one true sentence about the day ahead. Sometimes I swim. I'm not fast. I don't need to be. I float on my back and let the sky sit on my chest like a friendly weight. I count pelicans. I invent recipes for courage. Underwater, everything slows. There was a day when a school of tiny fish moved around me like punctuation, curving, pausing, continuing, while soft coral pulsed like a living heartbeat. I realized I was not a visitor. I was an answer the water had made room for. I surfaced laughing, salt on my lips, hair a small galaxy of mistakes, completely forgiven. I keep relics of Septervia on a shelf, pebbles that sing when it rains, a thread from my mother's coat. But my rituals belong to this shore. At sunset, I sit with a notebook and write what the day took and what it gave back. The list seldom matches in size. That's the trick of oceans. They give in ways you only notice after sleep. Loneliness visits, polite as weather. I let it. We watch the light fold itself and pack away. Then I send it home with a wave. I used to think belonging was a place. It might be a practice. Here, I practice. I practice watching without naming, loving without owning, staying without counting. If you've been searching for a story that holds your edges together, borrow mine for a while. Come stand where I stand and listen to the same patient breath I do. I can't promise answers, only tide, only the soft instruction to exhale. I am Valenbella. I live by this water, and for the first time in any galaxy, I feel exactly, precisely here. That is my whole story. For now,